Thousands have died in the recent storm, and the tragedy has shaken communities across the region. In the midst of the chaos, a shocking discovery has captured attention far beyond the storm zone. Deep in North Carolina's mountains lies Turtle Island Preserve, home to Eustace Conway, a man celebrated for his rugged independence and mastery of the natural world. But what authorities have uncovered there has shifted focus from the storm to the mysterious life of the mountain man. Something hidden in his old barn has sparked intense speculation, raising questions that no one expected. The barn. More than meets the eye. For decades, Conway's barn appeared ordinary. Built from weathered hand-hewn logs, it housed tools, grain, and memorabilia of a life lived largely off the grid. To outsiders, it was just another rustic structure tucked into the preserve. Those who knew Conway well, however, always suspected it held more. He guarded it with unusual vigilance, treating the space almost like a museum rather than a workshop. Locals often joked that visitors were lucky to even glimpse its interior, hinting that Conway considered the barn sacred territory. That secrecy set the stage for the extraordinary discovery that followed. A routine inspection turns unsettling. The revelation began innocuously enough. After the recent storm, county officials arrived at Turtle Island to ensure the preserve's buildings remained safe. When they reached Conway's barn, its heavy iron latches stood out. After failing to reach Conway, inspectors entered under official supervision. Immediately, the air inside felt strange. Alongside the familiar scent of aged pine and oil, there was a faint chemical odor. Dusty crates lined the walls, each meticulously labeled and sealed with wax. But it wasn't until a loose floorboard was kicked aside that the full mystery revealed itself. A hidden hatch descending into darkness. Descending into the unknown. The hatch led to a narrow staircase barely visible from above. Flashlights illuminated the descent, revealing shelves filled with curious objects. Rusted instruments, glass jars, and hand-bound books wrapped in animal hide suggested someone had been cataloging items meticulously. The inspectors paused, sensing they were no longer in an ordinary barn. A first responder later described the scene as stepping into a secret world. Authorities immediately cordoned off the area. When Conway arrived, he appeared calm but disappointed, muttering that the discovery had come prematurely. The contents below would remain a mystery for now. An underground vault investigators descended further, expecting old farming equipment or forgotten antiques. Instead, they found what resembled a private archive or underground vault. Dust and the faint scent of formaldehyde filled the chamber. Shelves crammed with dozens of glass jars contained preserved animal organs, bones, feathers, and odd botanical specimens that glimmered under light. Hand-bound journals, sealed in wax, were labeled with enigmatic phrases: cycle study, reversion data, and Project Living Legacy. Whoever worked here combined meticulous cataloging with elements of experimentation. It was less the work of a woodsman and more akin to that of a field scientist obsessed with documenting life in intricate detail. Tools of a secret discipline. At the center of the chamber, an old wooden table displayed an array of tools. Scalpels, magnifying glasses, syringes, and handmade microscopes were carefully arranged. Some instruments appeared decades old, while others seemed recently forged. Whoever had been working here was active not only in the past but in the present. The organization and precision suggested methodical research. Crates along the back wall contained additional surprises. Some bore U.S. Forestry Service markings, while others carried Fed and Bio serial numbers hinting at prior government affiliation. One crate revealed film reels with handwritten labels including Cycle 19, Observations of Conscious Adaptation. Journals of Mystery. The journals were perhaps the most unsettling discovery. Sketches depicted human anatomy interwoven with diagrams of animal nervous systems, implying a study of the parallels between humans and wildlife. Other entries detailed experiments in endurance, documenting how bodies adapt to starvation, isolation, and cold exposure. While some journals were signed EC and dated as recently as 2019, others bore no signature, hinting at additional anonymous contributors. These writings suggested a pursuit far beyond simple wilderness survival, an attempt to understand and perhaps manipulate the limits of life itself. Human and animal bones. A corner of the room contained a chest filled with bones. Most were clearly animal, but a few were unmistakably human. Authorities have not revealed whether these remains are archaeological or recent. Their presence only added to the mounting questions about Conway's secret pursuits. Witnesses describe the room as eerie and unnatural, with elements that seem to blur the line between naturalist observation and experimental practice. This underground chamber, meticulously organized and carefully concealed, exposed a side of Eustace Conway that few could have imagined. Government ties and reels of film among the crates, film reels provided further intrigue. Labeled in Conway's distinctive handwriting, they contained content authorities refused to disclose. Anonymous insiders claimed the footage showed observations and experiments inconsistent with standard wildlife study. The markings on some crates suggested connections to federal research projects, though the nature of these connections remains unclear. What emerges from these reels could redefine perceptions of Conway, turning the public fascination from his survival skills to the hidden scientific endeavors he pursued quietly for years. The mystery deepens. As authorities continue to investigate, questions mount. Why did Conway feel the need to hide this work? How long had these experiments been ongoing? And what purpose did the journals, specimens, and film serve? For a man who built his life around simplicity, the existence of such an elaborate secret laboratory reveals a far more complex persona. The intersection of wilderness survival, scientific exploration, and secrecy paints a picture of a man driven not only by self-reliance, but by an unyielding curiosity about the natural world and its limits. Local reactions. Locals have been both fascinated and disturbed by the revelations. Turtle Island Preserve, once seen as a serene haven for learning primitive skills and living off the land, now carries an air of mystery and tension. Fans of Conway's work have struggled to reconcile the image of the rugged, nature-centered mountain man with the reality of an underground lab filled with scientific artifacts and human remains. Questions circulate about ethics, legality, and the scope of his studies. Meanwhile, federal and local agencies remain tight-lipped, ensuring that the true story will unfold gradually. Eustace Conway speaks. Though Conway was present during the discovery, he has made few public statements. Observers report a calm demeanor with an air of resigned acceptance. He reportedly acknowledged that his work had been found prematurely, but offered little explanation. This reticence only heightens intrigue, leaving observers to wonder what else remains hidden on the preserve. With his life devoted to nature and survival, the presence of complex, secretive scientific work suggests that Conway has long balanced two identities: the public figure of the mountain man and the private researcher of the extraordinary. The legacy of discovery. The revelations beneath Conway's barn are likely to shift the way the public perceives his life and achievements. For years, Turtle Island Preserve symbolized simplicity, endurance, and connection to the natural world. Now it also symbolizes mystery, secrecy, and the pursuit of hidden knowledge. The artifacts and journals may take years to fully analyze, and the human and animal remains could spark legal and ethical investigations. Conway's work challenges assumptions about the line between wilderness survival and scientific experimentation, leaving the world to reconsider what living off the land truly means. Conclusion. A legend. Redefined. The story of Eustace Conway has always captivated the public imagination. Known for his dedication to self-reliance and the study of nature, he has inspired countless people to reconnect with the land. Yet the secret chamber beneath his barn suggests a far more intricate story. Layers of research, mysterious specimens, and cryptic journals reveal a side of Conway previously unknown. As investigations continue, the world watches in suspense. The mountain man's legacy now contains not only survival wisdom, but also the shadowy intrigue of a private scientific quest, one that may redefine the very essence of Turtle Island Preserve and the legend of Eustace Conway.